I'm Anthony Warner. I'm a development chef and food writer. I write about food systems and health and sustainability. But I'm also a development chef in the food manufacturing industry, have been for a number of years, worked with some of the UK's largest brands and companies, helping them to develop recipes for commercial products in UK retail.
Hello, and I'm Alan Marson. My background's in food ingredients and in open innovation in food.
Yeah, and we're talking today about Fruition Foods, which is the company that we've set up, which is all about helping companies, food companies, specifically small startups and small companies, bring their business ideas to fruition and improvement. It's kind of a business accelerator for the food industry, focusing broadly but not entirely on the north of England where we're based.
So my background is in the food ingredients business, led me to be always looking for new ideas to bring into influence the brand teams that I worked with, always looking at the health agenda, and that got me interested in working with academics, bringing new ideas, or working with companies to bring new ideas into the food industry.
I think it's sort of fair to say that we formed Fruition really to help companies that are creating a better, healthier and more sustainable food system. Sustainability has become more and more important, hasn't it? We've always been focused on health, but sustainability has become more important over the past few years. But it's kind of helping companies make a better food system and helping startups that have got really interesting ideas bring those ideas to life and accelerate them and make them better companies.
I fully agree. It's so important that we can get early sight of these new ideas and help bring them through strategically into the right place and support with a range of activities that we can offer through our associates model that we've got within Fruition Foods.
Mm. And those activities, talk a bit about some of those activities. So obviously, my role is as a development chef, so I help in development, recipe development and actually bringing recipes to life and presenting them to customers and to retailers and really getting involved with sort of using different ingredients to produce sort of culinary type applications. But there's lots of other sort of areas we support in as well. Do you want to sort of talk
That's
about
right.
that?
That's right. We, for instance, bringing a new ingredient into the market, it'd be something that we have had quite a lot of experience in, working for people from different countries, bringing new things into the market and finding the right types of clients for them, or the right strategy to be able to bring them into the market either in the UK or in Europe. Likewise, identifying at a very early stage new technologies, new processes that may be useful in the food industry, particularly from driving health and sustainability, is very useful for us. So areas that help really reduce the waste in food or reduce or improve nutritional aspects of food.
Mm. There's a lot of sort of innovation support, marketing support, product development support, and access to kind of our network of people who can help with IP and help with sort of regulatory and help with funding and all those sort of issues, isn't it?
I think it's so important with small companies and startups to have access to those, that I think in the area of open innovation that I've been working in from my own perspective in the last 20 years, it's so important to be able to have that range of skills to be able to access, as well as the resources that you can find in universities or trial plants or in analysis that you might need to have carried out on products. Is so important to be able to speed up development and the commercialization of products, and having that know-how, that network of what to do is so important.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of the big food company experience, because our experiences within big food companies most of our associates are experienced within big food companies, and it's getting that experience and using that to help small startups, entrepreneurs, and small companies expand and bring really good ideas and innovative ideas to fruition, essentially, isn't it?
It's essentially that, and identifying things that really could that could take off in our markets or even in other markets is something that really motivates myself and the rest of the team.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the people we've worked with in the past, some of the companies we've worked with and who we're currently working with?
Yeah, I think I think we've been helping, say, inventors, bringing new ingredients or new process solutions to market, and identifying areas that they have not been able to think of themselves of where things could be commercialized, or how they could, the method of actually selling those products, or proving the value to customers is something that we're very good at. And also, I think looking at the way that ideas are articulated and visualized, and how you might promote those both to consumers and to customers is really, really important. And I think that the importance of that's accelerating.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, I'm a writer. I do a bit of food writing, but we also have other people working on communication on social media and helping develop sort of social media platforms for companies, which I think is often something that entrepreneurs working really hard to launch a new ingredient, say, are probably going to, that kind of can get left behind. Can it sort of focus on those sort of aspects?
And if I add to that, I think that over the last 2 years or so, during the pandemic, the importance of digital communication has been so self-evident, and I can only see that continuing.
Yeah, because they're selling a lot of stuff online now, aren't they? If you're the consumer, brands that previously would have relied almost entirely on retailers were selling huge amounts of stuff online through websites.
It's changed that landscape altogether. Yeah.
Okay. Just quickly, when I say we're working with companies that are making a better food system, it's really, it's health, it's sustainability, and things like. I mean, we obviously do a lot of work on plant protein and helping people develop new plant protein ingredients and those sort of.
Yeah, I think that whole protein landscape and the alternative proteins is something that we've got quite a lot of insight and knowledge around, and I think we can help guide appropriate approaches really to make sure that companies are making healthy plant-based foods as well as highly sustainable plant-based foods.
Yeah, because a lot of those solutions are coming from smaller companies because bigger companies just aren't quick enough at innovating, because it's innovation happening at such a pace within plant-based that sort of you need that sort of agility, don't you? And the smaller companies seem to be doing better.
I think that is the case, and you can a lot of it really depends on what segment of the market that you want to approach. You've obviously, within that plant-based foods area, you've got a lot of beverage applications. You've also got alternative meat solutions, but increasingly you see things a lot more vegan cheese options being offered around as well. So I think the plant-based covers the whole spectrum of food categories.
Yeah, and that's fair to say we have associates which can cover kind of most of those, or probably all of those areas, really. Certainly within the associates we work with. Exactly.
Yeah, and I can only see that market continuing to grow, and I think it's driven as much by sustainability as health as well.
I suppose the part that's perhaps slightly different to what we do, well, a lot of our work is with ingredients companies rather than the brands, the consumer brands.
Yes.
Obviously there's a huge growth in consumer brands in plant-based, and we work with some of them, but we also work at the level back perhaps at the ingredients, which is where a lot of the real innovation is going to have to come from, because a lot of the brands are just using the same old ingredients that we use for years.
That's right. And I think identifying those things at an early stage that people can incorporate into products to drive a product differential, whether that's a sensory difference, a health aspect, are so important.
Yeah, sometimes that might even be back to the agricultural level, to the field, which is where we have supported some people as well in seed development and crop development.
Right from the right from that agricultural aspect in terms of the agronomy part, right the way through to really to product design. So in between, there is an issue around transformation of those raw materials and understanding the life cycle analysis of those, understanding the sustainability, the utilization of the Earth's resources is really important to us all.